Hey, so you must be Charlie.
The plugin for AccuFace that we're using. I just want to show you how amazing it is and how we, without markers, take the performance and then put it onto her virtual avatar. So let me show you how that works. What I've launched over here on the left is the AccuFace app, and I've uploaded the video. You can do both live camera or pre-recorded video. In this case, we've done pre-recorded video, and you can see that we've actually cut down to the exact script that we want to be able to do facial animation for. And we want to limit the tracking angle just because anytime we go past 45 degrees, 90 degrees, etc., it's not going to track the face. And so it's better to be able to limit this. And what we want to do is we want to be able to calibrate. So I'll go ahead and pull that. Let me click the calibrate. We want to get a neutral face. Let's find the most neutral face that we can get. That's a pretty neutral face right now. So we get set the expressions. So now we want to do the eyebrows up. There we go. So that's an eyebrows up straight to camera. Go ahead and do eyebrows down. And then the inner raise is really tough. Yeah, let's just try that. Cool. So you can see now it says calibration full, but it says status disconnected. So what we need to do is we need to tie AccuFace to the avatar. We do that by going to the plugins, Motion Live, and then we'll go over to the Motion Live and go ahead and click that. We need to click on AccuFace, and then we need to connect our character. We would click right here and click AccuFace right there. And now it's connected. First off, use your audio because we want the audio from the video track. I'm going to leave most of this at the default, but I'm going to set the noise to 25%. And I don't like to do smoothing because later we can smooth if we need to be kind of like waters down the result. So in my case, before we hit record, this is a really long clip. So we need to extend our project settings. So we'll go ahead and go to project settings and go ahead and raise that quite a bit. So in our case, we're going to go closer to 10,000 just to have enough of a length. And we just need to make sure that we raise our end of our project to the very end, just so that we're not getting a trimmed off result when we go and hit record with AccuFace. But I'm going to go ahead and just hit record and hit space.
It was, but I'm starting to feel better. I'm training for the new season. Exactly. And it's not going well. I am 0 for 7.
So when it's all done, what it's going to do is it's going to start to convert this to text. And so what ends up happening is that in iClone for face, you've got two different tracks that can control, well, the lips in particular. So the lips can be both controlled with the Visine track as well as the expression track. And so what's happening here with AccuFace is it's going to both get expressions, and we're going to get a little bit higher level of control through the Visine track. We're going to get that by putting in a script through the feature called AccuLips, which I will show you in just a bit once it converts this text. Once this is done, we no longer need AccuFace because that has now been applied. I'm going to go ahead and disconnect the servers. That's fine. And we want to go here and make sure that our Visine and our expression clip are selected. And then if you scroll down, we'll be able to see those layers. How iClone works is it has separate tracks for body and for face. So in this case, you can see that we have no animation on the body layer, but we're just looking at face right now. And what we want to do is we want to look at the speech in general, and we can improve the speech by making sure that we have like a match on the text itself. What we'll do is I'll go through here. And first off, I want to improve the talking style. So we can actually right click and do talking style. So by default, you can see, let's look at a certain section here. So if we look at a section.
Figured we're creating new memories now.
All right, so that's the default. But maybe we go and we do smooth, right? Let's see the difference.
Beyond me. Just figured we're creating new memories now, and we should clear some space for them.
That's pretty good. Let's look at the enunciate. That's probably too much.
I just figured.
Yeah, it's too much. what we go and we do. I think we did smooth. Singing works for me a lot of times, depending on the person.
I just figured,
Now it's smooth all the way. So that's a pretty good start.
we're creating new memories now, and we should clear some space for them.
Yeah, that's nice. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and apply that. And by the way, you can actually, if you want, using these razor tools, you can actually trim and do talking style. You don't have to do the same talking style for the entire part of the animation, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to improve the script here. So I'm going to go ahead and move that over and just kind of go through one by one and fix the parts. So bear with me 1 second. Great. And then if you have your own script file, you can upload that. That can save some of the time. I think that there's a tendency that the actors are going to change the lines here or there. So your script is probably not going to match perfectly right. So, and that's in this case why I do this. But once we have the script about right, we hit align, and I don't need to add those words in that are red. In some cases, if something is not a full word, it's just kind of a sound that somebody makes, we can just kind of leave it the way that it is, even if it kind of looks like gibberish. So then we can go ahead and see how the alignment works.
It was, but I'm starting to feel better. I'm training for the new season. Exactly. And it's not going well. 0 for 7.
That's really aligned really well.
I'm open to suggestions. Yeah, game on.
Yep. Oh, but there's a couple of, we need some more. So we actually have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 of those. So I'll go ahead and do, we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We need at least 6. So I'll go ahead and go here and need to tell it to align here. And that last one's too far. So last one may be right there. Go ahead and hit the line selected. Let's try again. Let's go more right here. Oh, there's not enough. So 1 second. Oh, no, I see. So go ahead and manually move them in some cases. This last one needs to come out right there. That'll be better. Yep. There's actually one more. Let's just line up these last 2 right through here. Perfect. So once we're happy with the alignment, we go ahead and we hit apply. And then now if we go back into the timeline, we'll see that everything is all good. And this should start to look really good. Here, we'll go ahead and save.
Hey, so you must be Charlie.
So that's starting to look pretty good. One of the things that I like to do right off the bat is I want to kind of clean up some of the motion. So what I like to do is I right click and I'll go to sample expression clip. I'm going to go ahead and sample selected parts. The brows, yeah, the brows were kind of crazy. I would say the head turns a little bit crazy. So I'm gonna go ahead, I don't want to smooth. I'm gonna downsample, and downsampling at 15 has worked pretty good for me. And that will make the animation a little bit more precise.
You must be Charlie.
And so the eyebrows are still a little bit intense. So go ahead and just get the eyebrows here. So go ahead, sample selected parts. I'm going to go ahead and take the eyebrows. In this case, I will smooth, but I'm going to smooth by a really small factor, something like 4. Go ahead and do that. And you'll start to notice too, is that these will all be sampled down here.
I just went through a really tough breakup. It was like losing the championship.
I think the eyebrows are still a little bit crazy. So go ahead and again, I'm going to smooth it just a little bit more. Sample selected parts. Go ahead and take the eyebrows and let's smooth it maybe by a factor of 10.
Losing the championship. It was. But I'm starting to feel better. I'm training for the new season. Exactly. And it's not going well. 0 for 7. I'm open to suggestions. Yeah, game on. That's a penalty on me.
That's pretty good. There's a couple times where some of the words are slightly off, but overall we're doing pretty good. So I want to show, for instance, the weight. That's a penalty on me. Let's go ahead and, because that's a little bit off. Okay, so her mouth never, it needs to go to nothing here. So I'll look at that. The letters are actually right. So what we can do here is if we double click on this will bring up our lip editor and we can lower the percentage value. But what's happening is that the expressiveness and the visine, they're kind of competing against each other. This is a little bit hidden, but you got to click on the motion and here. So there's a certain like strength. So the expression strength when we say like wait, I can actually lower that if I wanted to, and then watch what happens.
Wait!
So the lip sync is a little bit better, but then obviously there's not any personality. So we're going to handle this in a different way. I'll show you, because I don't want to do a global change. I want to do more of a case by case change. So we've got a pretty good starting point. I'm going to go ahead and take this a step further. So that step that I'm going to do is, if we go into the animation and we go up here, we click on the face key. It's a good thing to turn this on to extend clips. That will help. In this case, our clip is already extended, so we won't have to worry about that much. But I'm going to go through and kind of see if it's the right expressiveness. Once the face key opens up, it'll bring this window, and I'll show you how I'm going to personally use that. I'll go ahead and hit play.
So you must be Charlie.
So, like for instance, I really want this to exaggerate this pose. So I'm going to actually kind of make the expressiveness go up. And you'll see there's a little keyframe there. Let's start from the beginning.
Hey.
So I don't want her face to be at the side. I'm going to lower the expressiveness to begin the clip, and she kind of resets.
Hey.
And then that was a little robotic. So let's get that up. Yeah. So, hey.
Hey.
So that felt a lot better.
Hey. So you must be Charlie.
So I like that. I just don't like this head turn. So if we go to the head turn, I'm going to lower down on the expressiveness. Let's try that.
So you must be Charlie. Hey. So you must be Charlie.
So that's kind of nice. How we go up and down, it really kind of adds a little bit more personality.
So you must be Charlie.
And so we have multiple takes here. So a lot of times I'm going to like to reset in between, but that was pretty seamless. Yeah, so that's too much with the mouth right there. So I know that the expressiveness is too much, but I liked it through the sigh. That's really nice. So we'll go ahead, just kind of move this to set the key where it needs to be. And that's too much. So I'm going to go ahead and lower right around there. Still too much. Oh, and some of it is our pose. So we see how we go from ah to ah. We have no in between. So we need to add an in between. Go ahead and click here and add a none, just so her mouth closed for a second. And if we really want to exaggerate that pose, we can put two of them side by side. And I can actually, if I really want to exaggerate it, I can up the expressiveness more, and which sometimes will close up the mouth. I can actually just key this down a little bit. So that we were good through right around there. And then we need to be more expressive through here, less expressive through there. We get a lot through the automation, but we can add a lot through just kind of playing with it as artists.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's starting to feel better.
I just went through a really tough breakup.
It's pretty good.
It was like losing the championship.
And that's pretty good. See, we could exaggerate this where she's really kind of heavy here, but that might be too much. Let's try this.
It was like losing the championship.
So I feel like her lips are a little bit too animated because she's more sad in this moment. So let's look at this like a little bit softer.
It was like losing the championship.
Yeah, I feel that's better for the moment.
It was.
Maybe she comes up a little bit.
It was.
Yeah, not bad.
But starting to feel better.
Let's try this but.
But I'm starting to feel better.
She comes down.
But I'm starting to feel better.
We don't believe you. Starting to feel better.
Starting to feel better.
Maybe starting to feel better. Finish on an upswing.
I'm starting to feel better.
Yeah, a little bit better. No pun intended.
Starting to feel better. I'm training for the new season.
I like that. I'm training for the new season. Don't like that.
I'm training for the new season.
Maybe she comes down, like thinks for a second. So she really kind of thinks.
Better. I'm training for the new season.
Yeah.
Better. I'm training for the new season. Exactly.
Her eyes are a little bit bent, so just do that. She's kind of, well, that's fine.
Exactly.
You'll notice sometimes her tongue was going through her teeth there. We can make a global fix on that. Go to modify, and then we'll go to tongue. We just want to make sure that the tongue goes in a little bit. And so the only thing about that is it's going to set an individual keyframe on the muscle. So we cannot do that yet. We're going to have to do that later. I'll show you why, because if we go from one key to the other, the tongue may go in and out. I guess in this case it did not. Okay, we're all good. So for me, this is kind of like a good base. I wouldn't say that it's completely perfect, but I'm basically doing, I don't know, close to 2 minutes of animation here in facial animation in whatever it is, like just over an hour. And that's kind of crazy. Again, I could do it even faster. I could have just let it as the default, but just to try to get it as close as possible to something that looks more polished, I can spend a little bit more time and be able to get it better and better as we go. Once we do get it to a spot like right here, one of the things that's kind of odd is where she's looking. Now we're going to kind of adjust that per shot because she's going to look at different characters, etc. If I was wanting her to look at camera, what I could easily do is go ahead and click over here, and then we have a specific tool for that where we can say look at camera. So let's say from the very beginning, she kind of looks at camera, which is our default camera. And there's two different ways to do that. There's the head and then there's the body. I don't really want her body to be shifted, so I'm going to put that back to 0. And then you kind of see that her head is looking too much in the same space if we set it to 70. So if we can lower that down.
Hey, so you must be Charlie. Here.
And so you can see that. So she doesn't look at as many random places if I were to put that in. On Love is a Championship, the film is going to be 14 minutes before credits. So it's quite a bit of dialogue to do. And these tools, AccuLeps, really, really helps. So here I'm going to go ahead and share with you the final result.
Hey, so you must be Charlie. That's it! I'm out of here! I just went through a really tough breakup. It was like losing the championship. It was. But I'm starting to feel better. I'm training for the new season. Exactly. And it's not going well. I'm 0 for 7. I'm open to suggestions. Yeah. Game on. Daddy! Wait! That's a penalty on me! I just figured we're creating new memories now, and we should clear some space for them. I should have thought more about how that would make you feel. I'm sorry. Wow! It's so beautiful. I'm overwhelmed. Yes! Heads! Woo! I want the ball!
We'll try to do more of these tutorials as we go. I'm a really big fan of the Reallusion tools. It really does allow you to get to the story quicker. And you could either use their automations as is. A lot of the community is using the automation as is. For Love is a Championship, we're trying to get the quality as polished and as close as we can to feature animation. So throughout this process, we'll be trying to push the tools, I guess, a step further. Stay tuned for the next video, and thanks for watching. Talk to you soon. See you. Bye.